So today we'll talk about the user profile and user license. Very, very important.
Okay.
Okay. So what is a user? In general, user, who can be user?
The one who has the account, like the owner,
Yes.
or
So the user is a person who is authorized to access something. Okay. Who is authorized to access some application or some app, okay, or some account, okay, some page or some room,
okay.
okay. The user is a person who is authorized to access something, okay. So here in Salesforce we have, similarly, you are the user in the organization, you will be having many users for different kind of business purposes. You will be having sales representatives, okay. The sales,
Mm-hmm.
if you have sales representatives, then only they can go and create the leads, they can close the leads, okay, they can create the campaigns. The marketing representatives and the service representatives can can close the cases, can review the cases, right? So they all should be the users in your organization, then only they can store the data and they can do some work, right?
Okay.
This is the workplace for them. Once they come in the morning to the office, first they open their this arc and they'll start doing the work, looking at the leads, following up with the leads. Okay, did you get this? The users, who can be the
Yes.
user? Yeah. Similarly, we'll be having the different managers. Okay, they are also users in the arc who will be monitoring the sales reps or service reps or marketing reps. Okay, similarly we'll be having our higher level management. They also will be having a user. They are also the users in the arc. Okay, to see the reporting on the first class. I said they want to see only the reports. They don't see, they don't go to each rep how many leads he generated this month. They'll just see the report. To see the report, he should be a user in the arc. Same like an administrator. Now you are the administrator. Okay. Same like an administrator. All should be the users in the arc. Then only they can log in similarly as you do, and they can see the data or they can see the objects they wanted.
Okay.
Okay. Is this clear on the user part?
Yes.
Okay. We create the users from administer, manage user and users.
Okay.
Here we have different users. Okay. The user should be active. Okay. The user should be active to access the arc. If he is inactive, then he will not be able to log in. Okay. And once we create the user, we cannot delete them from the arc, from the Salesforce. Once the user is created, he will not be able to, we cannot delete him as administrator or whatever. We cannot delete the user. We can just
Okay.
deactivate him to prevent login to the app. For example, one sales representative is there, our sales manager is there, he left our arc.
Okay.
Okay, he is a user in our arc. Okay, he left. So what we do? We just deactivate that user
Okay.
so that he will not be able to log in from anywhere. Okay, is this clear?
Yes.
Okay, so these are the user fields. These are also created, everything all created and maintained by administrator. Admin will create the users. Okay, here down you can see the login history of the user when he is logged in. Did he got any problems while logging in, like invalid password? It will record everything from which browser you are logging in. Okay, from which place you are logging in. It will show everything. Failed, the computer activation required. My login is failed. Okay, see here the login time, application browser, login URL, from which URL you logged in, the location, which location you logged in. Everything it will capture for the user. So if you see any a kind of like abnormal activity of the user, he's logging from somewhere else to steal some data or something, if you feel any that kind of thing, you can see his login history. You can keep an eye on him using the login history. Okay, so these data will be available till 6 months. You can have the last 6 months from today to last 6 months login data is available. Okay, is this clear? Login history?
Yes.
Okay, so now we have seen the user. There are three things tied to each other in Salesforce. Okay, first user, the second one is profile, the third one is user license. Okay, so now you got the idea of a user, the person who is authorized to access the or application, anything, authorized person to access. Okay, now profile, a user must, okay, user must be associated with a profile. Okay, profile is nothing but it's a set of permissions, set of permissions assigned to user, assigned to user which defines what a user can do within Salesforce. Okay, profile is a set of, user is a person who is authorized to access some application or something. Okay, in our case user is a person who is authorized to access our ARC's data. Okay, profile is a set of permissions assigned to user which defines what a user can do within the Salesforce. What a user can do, whether he can touch something or not, whether he can create something or not, whether he can edit something or not, whether he can delete something or not. Okay, user is a person, he logs in, but after logging in, what he can do? He can't go and do everything, right? If, for example, if a sales representative logged in, okay, can he create a user? The sales representative, can he go and create a user? No,
No.
no, right? He's not authorized to create a user. He's just a sales representative. He just needs to look after only leads and opportunities. He has nothing to do with the user. That's prohibited, right? How can we control that? That is using the profile. Okay, what a person
Okay.
can do within the organization, the permission, the set of permissions is controlled by profile. Okay, for example, user is a person who is authorized to access a room or a flat, let's say flat. Okay, but the profile comes and restricts, he has to use only one room in that flat, he should not go to any other room. It will control, it will restrict them going to other room. If he tries to go, it will give him the insufficient privileges, that kind of errors.
Okay.
Okay, you understand about the profile,
Yes.
Pranita? Are you able to follow this profile?
Yes.
Okay, good. So user profile, and next we have is user license. User license. Okay. So a user must be associated with a user license. Okay. To create a user, first we need a user license. First thing we need is a user license
Okay.
in Salesforce. Okay. Whenever we purchase any edition, we have different editions, right? Enterprise edition, unlimited edition, right? So
Yeah.
these editions, we not these editions are sold by Salesforce in the form of licenses. Okay. For the enterprise edition, I want 10 Salesforce licenses, Salesforce.com licenses. Okay. It's just a name. License name is Salesforce.com. They put that as a some license name is Salesforce license. Okay. Just don't confuse uh, when I say Salesforce licenses. Okay. The license name they put as a Salesforce. Okay. So the Salesforce charges them per license $250 per month. That means per user they are charging. Okay, they don't charge for the complete edition. They charge based on the user licenses. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. So now what is a user license? User license is a package of functionality. Okay, package of functionality. I can, this is in my terms. Okay, what mean by package of functionality is, first, let's say what I said, the user is a person who is authorized to access something, and profile is a set of permissions which controls what a user can do. The user license is a package is nothing but, for example, I gave the user to go to one apartment. Okay, he's authorized to go to one apartment. Okay, he can access what can be what we can have the facilities at a apartment. We can have pools, gym, etc., right? That kind of facilities. Okay, so that's the user license I gave him. The package of functionality, the complete apartment, the functionality I gave him. Okay, and when he goes to the apartment, the profile controls him to go to only one flat, not to all flats, right? So the profile controls him to authorize, have a permission only to one flat, and in that again it controls him for only one room. Did you
Mm.
understand this, or it is
Yes.
confusing?
No, it's clear for me.
Apartment, whether he can be having different kind of facilities like pool, gym, etc., etc. Okay, and when he go to the apartment, I gave him the license to go to the apartment. Okay, I gave this complete authorization for the apartment, but when he comes to the apartment, he can go to only one flat. Okay, again in that only one room, that is controlled by my profile. And he, who can do this? A user. Okay, a user can access only one flat and one room in one apartment. This is my user license, the complete package. Okay, he can, in addition to this, he can access the pool and the gym, etc., etc. Okay, that are given in the user license. Did you understand? The user license?
Yes.
Okay, so these three things are tied to each other. To create a user, we must have a user license. Okay, and the user must be associated with a profile. We must have a user license. Okay, this is a package of functionality. In that functionality, in that functionality, what he can access, what functionality he can access, that is decided by the profile. Only X functionality he can access in this package of functionality. Okay, this user is authorized to use only some part of functionality that is controlled by profile.
Okay.
Is this clear? And let's say
Yes.
let's take another user like supervisor. Okay, supervisor at an apartment. He will be having access to use all the whole apartment, right? He can go to any flat. That means he can go and see everything, right? A supervisor of the apartment. So that means he can access the complete package of functionality. Okay, here the profile does not control him anything. He will be able to get the profile will be there for him, but it will give him the complete access to the complete package of functionality. Okay, that is nothing but the system administrator for us. He will be having, see, the user license. The user license is Salesforce, and the profile he have is system administrator. So the profile system administrator gives him every right, every access to all the functionalities provided by this user license, the Salesforce license. This is just a name. Don't get confused with the Salesforce. Okay, this,
Okay.
whatever the functionality available with this user license, the complete functionality will be available to the system administrator can access the complete functionality of the license. Okay, so the user must be associated with a profile, and to create a user, first we need a user license, then only we will be able to create the users. Okay, so in real time you came across a scenario that they recruited some sales manager and they want you to create a user in your arc. So first you need to ask them the first question, what kind of user he is. Let's say they said
Okay.
he's a sales manager. Then you need to ask the second question, what are the functionalities we have to give him the access. Let's say they said give him the access to leads, opportunities and accounts. The third question you have to ask is what level of permission, what level of permissions we need to give. Okay, we should have to, whether we should have to give the read permission only or edit permission also, delete permission also. So you have to ask all these kind of questions. Before creating a user, you need to define which kind of user you are going to create, what he can access, what level of access he should have. Okay, based on that you will be selecting the license and you will be assigning him with the correct profile. Okay, is this clear?
Okay.
A little confusing, but just go through it in the Google. See the user profile and user license. Just click here the help for this page. You can see the description about the users. Okay, is this clear, Pranita? Or any doubts?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, so here we can create the new users. So before that we need to create the profiles. Okay, here we have the profiles. So mostly we don't create the profiles. Profiles are already provided by the Salesforce. There are standard profiles already provided by the Salesforce. What we do is we just clone the profile. Okay, clone the profile and modify the settings according to our requirement. Okay, these are all the profiles already provided by the Salesforce. Okay, these are all standard profiles. So if you create any custom, see here the custom checkbox is checked. That means these are created by myself. Okay, the user, the administrator. Okay, they are checked with the custom checkbox. So I just created a custom sales profile to give access to some of my users, to give the permissions to some of my users. Okay, so if you want to have any kind of if you want to provide a profile to particular user, you can clone and assign this to that particular user. Okay, see here admin custom. This is another profile which I have created for the delegated admins. If the system administrator is not present, then delegated admin can do some kind of work. So just created this admin custom admin profile. Okay, I'll show you the profile. And whenever you ask to create any user, first you need to check whether the license is available or not. Okay, first we'll see this profile and go to the user licenses. So the profile controls the object settings. See here the object settings. First we'll see the object settings, then we'll jump to other sections. Object settings, that means what are the objects that a user can see or create or edit or delete or modify them completely. Okay, so that is controlled in the profile in object settings. See here accounts object, the object permissions are read, create, edit, delete, view all, modify all, view setup, edit setup, delete setup. So because he is a system admin, delegated admin, right? That's why we gave him this permission. If he is not admin, then we'll restrict him only to the read or create. Just click on this object and click edit. See here now the object permissions. These are called CRUD permissions. CRUD. This is a short form we use. Create, read, edit, delete. So this is the just short form of full form of CRUD. CRUD permissions. Okay. CRUD permissions on a object. Okay. So we can restrict him to only read the account records. Only read the account records. He will not. So the user who is associated this profile, when the user logs in, okay, he will be able to only read the account records. He will be not able to create any records in the account object. Right now we are creating the records, right? We are able to create the records by clicking the new button, right? So if we prevent him here, if we remove this create permission, so whoever the user logs in with this profile, he will not be able to create the record. Okay, we can control that using the object permissions which are CRUD. Okay, and we all modify all. We have we can see this security settings. Okay, sharing and security. We'll see these two things later. And here we have the fields, right? Field permissions also we can control. Object permissions as well as field permissions. Okay. So while creating the field, we are checking the visible, right? Did you observe that? Visible.
Yes.
Okay. Visible, we are checking for the profiles only. Which profiles can see that field. Okay. If we remove that checkbox visible to all the profiles, no user can see that. Okay. Or we can select only particular profile, system administrator, sales manager, or someone else, marketing manager. Only The users with that profiles logged in, they only able to see that field. Okay.
Okay.
If any other user logs in, he will not be able to see that field. Okay, that is nothing but a field level security. So we are controlling the security at field level also. Which who the user can see that field, particular field, who is the user. Okay,
Okay.
is this clear or any doubts here? The field level
It's clear.
security.
It
Okay,
is clear.
the field level security is called FLS. It's a short form of field level security. FLS.
Okay.
Okay. Mm, yeah. So object and field level we can control, and page layout and record types also we can control. So we'll see this page layout and record types. Yeah, one more thing is tab settings. See the tab settings, whether the user will be able to see the tab or not. Okay,
Okay.
the tab, there are three types of tab settings: default on, default off, tab hidden.
Hmm.
Okay, default on, default off, tab hidden.
Yes.
Okay, so right now we have default on. Default on means this tab will appear here in this section, here in this tab bar. Okay,
Okay.
and if we set it as default off, okay, if we set it as default off, we will be able to see this in this all tabs list. This plus symbol is there, right? This is a all tabs list. See, when you hover over on that, it is showing all tabs, right? So you will be able to find the tab in the all tabs list. But if you make it as a tab hidden, that means you will not be able to see this tab anywhere. Even in the all tabs list also you will not be able to see. Even the system administrator cannot see. Only he has
Okay.
to go to the profile and change the setting, then only the tab is visible to that particular profile users.
Okay.
Okay. These tab settings also very important. Kind of interview question. Okay, is this clear? The tab settings, default on means you can see on the tab bar, default off means you can see in the all tabs list, tab hidden means you will not be seeing it anywhere.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, so this is the profile. About the profile, there are a lot of settings in the profile. See, the profile is nothing but a kind of settings to a user, what a user can do when he logs in.
Okay.
Okay. Mm, yeah. So we can control him by viewing for viewing the Visualforce pages also. Okay, whatever the custom Visualforce pages developed in our arc, whether user can, these particular profile users can see the pages or not. Okay, that is controlled by the Visualforce page access. Okay, the main thing is object settings and app permissions. Okay, and Visualforce page access and system permissions, the login IP ranges, session settings. This we'll see in the security controls session. Okay, session
Okay.
settings, password policies, login IP ranges, login hours. Okay, and yeah, one more thing is app permissions. App permissions, nothing but see here right now we are in the sales app. These are called apps. Call center app, marketing app, community, content, Salesforce charter, tech live, agent, warehouse. These are all apps here until this line. Okay, these
Okay.
are all called apps in the Salesforce or in our org. These are all apps again. Okay, so if a sales user logs in, will restrict him to have a view of sales app only. This complete section is empty for him. He will not be able to see the call center, marketing, app, community, content or Salesforce charter. He will be able to access only sales app. See, there are like many apps here. He will get confused which app he has to use, right? So
Yeah.
he designated to use only sales app. So if a service user
Okay.
logs in, he will be able to see only call center app. So
Okay.
like that, we should have to restrict the users using the profile. Okay.
Okay.
If a marketing user logs in, he has to see only marketing app. He no need to have a view of sales, what's going on sales or what's going on service. He has nothing to do with them, right?
Yes.
So we need to restrict him in his profile. So where here in the app permission settings, app permissions. Yeah. Here in the app permissions right now, he has the permission to the call center, content. These are all the apps. So we can disable them. If we disable, this is enabled, so we can disable them, then they will not be able to see the apps. Only they will be able to see only the apps related to them. For the sales user, we just enable this one. For marketing, we just enable only marketing app. Remaining all we disable, we just remove the check boxes.
Okay.
Okay. So whenever he logs in, he will not be able to see all other apps which are not related to him. Only he can see the app which is related to him. Okay. Yeah, is this clear? App permissions.
Yes.
So far we learned the profile controls the object settings, field level settings, and app permissions, and Visual
Yeah.
Force page access. So later on we'll see what are all the different things like system permissions, login hours, and IP sessions. Okay.
Okay.
Is this clear, Pranita? Or any doubts?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. So what did I say just before that? To create a user, first we need to have a user license, right? To
Yes.
create a user, first we need to have a user license. So how do we check the user licenses? Whether our organization purchased the licenses or not.
Yeah.
Okay. Our organization, did it purchase the licenses from the enough licenses from the Salesforce or not? Okay. Go to the company profile here. Here you see the company information.
Okay.
See here, this is a company name. Here you will be seeing your company name, the primary contact for the company, default locally, default language, time zone, currency, uh, used data space. Data space is nothing but the records, whatever the records you create on any object that count towards the data space. Whatever the files you attach in the notes and attachment list, that counts towards the file space. Okay. And
Okay.
this is main the Salesforce.com organization ID. This is unique for each org. Okay, you will be having this one. The other company will be having the different organization ID. So whenever you get any problem with your Salesforce org, you need to provide this Salesforce.com organization ID to the Salesforce help desk. Then only they will be able to resolve any problem or they will be able to enable new features for your org. Okay, and here you can see the organization edition, which edition you are right now in enterprise, unlimited, developer, or professional, anything. Okay, and here you can see the user licenses. Okay, there will be different user licenses based on divided based on the some kind of customer requirement. Yeah. So the Salesforce license which give the complete functionality of Salesforce, okay, which give the complete functionality. This is a complete package of complete functionality, the Salesforce license. Okay, Salesforce platform is limited, having a limited functionality. Okay, limited functionality. Authenticated website, only you will be able to view the website. High volume customer portal, so we will be having the customer portals and communities. So he will be, if we provide a user with this license, he will be access only the customer portal. He will not be able to see our main arc. Okay, silver partner, gold partner. So these are all the different licenses we have. So based on the license, the functionality is defined, what functionality a user can get access to. Yeah. Host.com free license, charter free. So if you give the charter free license, he will be able to access to only charter. He will not be able to see any leads, accounts or any custom objects. Only charter. He can log in and just do the chart. And here you can see the number of licenses, the total licenses your company purchased, and the user licenses, remaining licenses, and expiration date. You can see how many are used, how many are remaining. So we will be having, for developer edition, we will be having only 2 Salesforce licenses. This because this is a main license, okay, which gives the functionality to the package of complete functionality.
Okay.
Okay, so but in real arcs like enterprise and unlimited, there are many Salesforce licenses like 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, because they will be having that kind of based on the company size. If the if it is an MNC, it will be having like 10,000 Salesforce licenses. If it is a
Okay.
mid-level company, it will be having like 500 licenses. It will be purchasing.
Okay.
Based on its size, it will keep on purchasing the licenses. So once they see, they give the complete package of functionality to a user with this Salesforce license, but using the profile they will control everything.
Okay.
Okay, first they will give the complete package. Okay, first they will give the complete entire cake to him, but using the profile they'll give him just a piece in that cake. He cannot eat the whole cake. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And there are some other feature licenses. Okay. On top of the user license, there will be a feature licenses. That means to get the access to the campaigns. Okay. He should have a user license, and also he should have a feature license called marketing user. This is an extra add-on license to him. Okay, he should have the user license and feature license to get some feature, some functionality. Okay, these also they need to purchase the feature licenses
Okay.
also. Okay, is this clear, the licenses part? So it is little confusing, but when you go in the real time, you'll find very easy.
Okay.
Okay, is this clear,
Yes.
Pranita?
Yes.
Okay, so user license and profile. So today try to create a user. First create a profile. Okay. In the correct permissions, give him only up to read, create and read. Don't give the edit and delete permissions. Okay, in the
Okay.
profile. Okay,
Okay.
and create a user and assign him with this profile. Okay, and the login with that user. So how do you create the user is same as you created, as you subscribed first time. Similarly, you will get a mail to reset the password and all. Just go to
Okay.
all users, click new user, provide the last name, first name, whatever the mandatory fields. Okay. See here, the role is showing as a mandatory field, right? The red mark is showing, but this is not a mandatory field. If you keep it as like this non-specified, then also it will save, no problem. Okay. And
Okay.
provide him with the license, whatever the license you want to give him, the Salesforce platform or anything, and select the profile which you created. Okay. Select the profile. Okay. And save. So you'll get uh, you'll receive an email to set the password. So keep that password safe and log in with that user and check the CRED permissions. You'll be going to give only create and read, right, on specific objects and accounts or on opportunities or on cases. Okay. Go to that particular records, go to the cases and check whether he can edit the record or not, because you did not give him the edit permission. You gave him only the create and read permission. Try creating. He will be able to create the record. But try editing the same record. He will not be able to do that. Try
Okay.
deleting. He will not be able to do that. Okay, go to the record and check whether he will be able to edit or delete. He will not be able to see the buttons first of all.
Okay.
He cannot see these edit and delete buttons. These will be disappeared for him because the permission is not given in the profile. The logged in user profile, the edit delete permission is not there. Okay. Try that way.
Okay.